Tinder Creature Comforts is Tinder the game, but with aliens. It's such a cool concept, but it gave me PTSD vibes from my online dating, of which I've suffered for many years with and have plenty of stories to tell, and perhaps on a drunk stream I'll share some. But Tinder Creature Comforts bring everything from online dating and online app dating together in this cacophony of confusion, passive aggressiveness, hilarity, and just pure entertainment as you swipe through all of these hundreds of profiles that you get to play with and have unique stories of every single one of them as they go along. The game itself sees you playing as this human who's travelling around an alien world, and when you join the Tinder app, you can only go on 10 physical dates with people. So when you're swiping left and right, depending on who you want to go for, providing that you match, you can then go into conversations and messaging with them. You have different options between 2 and 3 normally of how you would answer those questions, and that dictates how those conversations go. And they're all written in a variety of different ways of all the different people that you meet online. And what really impresses me with Tinder Creature Comforts is just the sheer variety and sprawlingness of the conversations that you can have. You've got people who are like trying to go to my Instagram page, yo, like my page, be a follower. You've got people trying to get you to send money abroad to another planet. You've got spam bots. You've then got people who are chatting back and forth and are like wanting to meet up for just flirty fun. I ended up in some weird, awkward threesome baiting scam in one of them. Then there was like the people who are like, the wife who doesn't love her husband anymore and is emotionally having an affair, but she's not really, and she's not committed enough, so you end up being friends. But I think you can press for more, depending on how you play it. Then you've got like people who are just being online depressives. Then you've got like aggressive people who are like, you're not even a Pisces, get out, blocked. And things like that. It's a real head spin, and it's all around how you navigate the rejection and the just extreme mood swings, and the way how dating has become so judgmental because you're judging people on the picture and the age and the bio, and then someone says something remotely slightly like off, or you read into something slightly off, and it can descend a conversation just out of nowhere, all over the shop. You've even got people who just like won't reply, or just like say things like throwing those annoying icebreaker questions at you, but then never reply themselves. And then they judge you on it and then block you when you ask back. So yeah, proper PTSD vibes from all of those apps. As you go through all these different conversations, you can strike up friendships, you can strike up dates, and then if you decide to then go on a date, you come out of the app, and whilst you don't see physically the date that's taking place, it's all done through text-speak bubbles. And loads of them are awkward. Some of them are fun. Some of them, like, you end up third wheeling when they bring mates along. It's a real variety. And I have to say, having spent the vast majority of the last, I'd say 20 years online dating when I've not been in relationships, I've experienced most of these types of things. And many more weird and wonderful ones beside. And it's just so beautifully put together that I'm just like, yep, I remember being on this. Yep, I remember this happening to me. Yes, this was horrific too. And by the end, you can then decide whether or not you want to take things further. But then also, depending on how you've answered all of these different questions, actually quite often they'll just be like, no, I didn't feel the spark, friends. Or they'll just be like, no, this date was horrible. And they'll leave early and you'll be blocked on your return back to the app. Once you get through those 10 dates, you can choose to kind of either have an end with one of them if you haven't already reached an end with one of the people and it's gone very well. Or you can just end up leaving with no one, which is generally how my playthroughs mostly ended up. Maybe that says something about me more than anyone else, but it's just so engrossing and it's so well done. And the art style, I think, is really, really cool. I like the way how it's so evocative and you start to imagine that profile and person on a date with you. Some of them, the dates are so really well written and stupid. There's one where I ended up dating someone who eats humans and I didn't mean to. And we'd gone out for a bite to eat. And then the entire date is basically me running away from them because she fancies me for dinner. So there's like ludicrousness in there as well, but there is like running themes all the way through of people being sad and upset and lonely and turning to these apps and just spilling out their guts everywhere, but then not wanting to meet up. And I found that quite a lot on these dating apps. And as soon as they actually want to do any kind of physical meet up in person, everyone kind of disappears. Whether this game is right for you depends on whether or not you can separate your real life issues, if you've been on online dating apps like this, and seeing this play out in like game form. I found it endlessly fascinating to go back and swipe with the same people, match, which isn't a guarantee depending on how you filled out your profile, and then kind of see where these endings and conversations go by choosing different things. The actual, like, you start off with hundreds and hundreds of profiles. The ones that you can actually reach like proper ends with is much, much smaller than that, but it doesn't feel like it. And Tender Creature Comforts manages to feel like you are out there in the world with hundreds of people having specific conversations. And yes, some of them may end up being formulaic and ending up closing off or just drifting off into nothing. But that's actually how the online dating apps end up becoming and working anyway. So it didn't annoy me or limit me in any way, because I felt like I was part of a much larger dating pool and ecosystem. So yeah, Tender Creature Comforts, 2 huge thumbs up from me. Superbly written. Really, like every decision that you make changes the course of your conversation. So it's not as if you have like a couple of choices and then that's it. Every single line back changes what happens. And I think that that is a superb way to do these type of dialogue-based and dialogue-driven story narrative games. Written review will be over on highplanegames.com. Until then, you guys take care, and if you're on a dating app, you might want to pick up some tips from Tender Creature Comforts. Bye for now. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.